Hello everyone. Before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Rodrigo Saraditya Milanio. I'm from Semarang State University. On this opportunity that has been given to me, I will present my article with the title Comparison of the Effectiveness of Phostoxin Fumigants for Controlling Insect Pest Warehouse, Lassioderma serricorne, and Pholcus phalangioides. Okay, first I will talk about the introduction. So cigarettes are one of the largest production in Indonesia. According to a report from the Ministry of Financial Republic of Indonesia, in 2020, there was a sharp increase in cigarette production, reached to 165.5 billion cigarettes. Cigarettes made from dried tobacco not spared the threat of warehouse pests that can multiply very quickly. Pests such as Lassioderma serricorne become the biggest threat to cigarette manufacturers, which causes a decrease in the quality and quantity of the dried tobacco leaf. Lassioderma serricorne is a Coleoptera type insect that becomes one of the largest pests in the cigarette industry in Indonesia. Every year, these insects can reduce the yield in warehouse by 10 to 40%. Lassioderma serricorne damages dried tobacco by consuming the leaves, which will later reduce the mass of tobacco leaves and will affect the taste, color, and smell of the tobacco leaves themselves. Lassioderma has a life cycle of between 40 to 80 days, depending on its environmental conditions. One fertilized Lassioderma female can lay as many as 45 to 110 eggs, and each female can lay twice in her life period. Larvae of Lassioderma serricorne are the most damaging pest of dried tobacco. The larvae itself have 3 instar development. So, with the presence of pests that have a fast life cycle, it will damage the quality and quantity of dried tobacco, which will later become an economic loss on a large scale. Okay, so next slides, I will explain about the methods. The first one is preparation of test insects. Pest sampling is done first before the closure of commodity using fumigation plastic. Sampling is done at 8 predetermined points on commodities to be fumigated at tobacco storage warehouse in Kudus, Central Java. The samples taken are living insects that are in fumigation commodities. The samples are calculated and distinguished by the type and number of insects found at each point. Next step is application of fumigation. Fumigation conducted in this study is part of the routine measure of insect pest control in tobacco storage warehouses. Before the closure of plastic, a volume measurement of the commodity is performed to determine the dose, and installation of the monitor hose is done first. Every 12 hours, the plastic will be opened to measure the level of Phostoxin in the commodity. Commodities that have been marked and then closed using large plastic that are ensured that there are no holes in the plastic cover. The installation of sun slicks at the end of the plastic cover to minimize the occurrence of gas leaks. Fumigation is carried out for 2 times 24 hours. The third step is identification and calculation of mortality. Every 12 hours, the plastic will be opened and calculate the mortality of the insect species found. Insect mortality calculation is done at the predetermined point. Some samples are taken and then inserted into 70% alcohol, which will be identified in the laboratory, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, Semarang State University. And the last step is data analysis. The data obtained was analyzed statistically using one-way ANOVA test. The next step is result and discussion. Table 1 was contain the mortality percentage of Lassioderma serricorne after Phostoxin treatment for 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, and 48 hours. From the table above, Phostoxin fumigants are very good at killing insects of Lassioderma serricorne in commodities. Table 1 shows that at the end of the 48-hour observation, the mortality percentage ranged from 96.25% to 100%. The next slide is Table 2. Table 2 was contained the mortality percentage of Pholcus phalangioides after Phostoxin treatment for 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, and 48 hours. From the table above, Phostoxin Fumigants are very good at killing insects, Pholcus phalangioides in commodities. Table 2 shows that at the end of the 48 observation, the mortality percentage was 85% to 89.28%. And from this treatment, the types of insects found are Lassioderma serricorne and Pholcus phalangioides. These results are in accordance with the research that has been conducted by Ramadan et al. Mentioned that Lassioderma serricorne is among the most important pests that attack tobacco commodities in storage warehouses. This warehouse pest can lead to a decrease in the quality and quantity of tobacco commodity stored. Fumigant enters the body of insects mainly through the respiratory system. The entrance of the body of insects at the larval, pupae, and immature stage through the spiracle located in the lateral part of the insects. The opening and closing of the insect spiracles is under muscle control, so that insect poisoning by fumigants is affected by the respiratory speed of the insects. Aluminum phosphide is an active component of various mixtures that can release highly toxic phosphine gas. Phosphine is an indirect poison. This means the gas produced from aluminum phosphide doesn't cause death, but react with oxygen to form toxic byproducts that cause death. Since phosphine is not consumed in the process, it can act continuously, producing more toxic over time. In this way, phosphine causes the damage to accumulate like a toxic snowball effect. This is the power of indirect poison. The more doses of phosphine tablet, the more phosphine gas is given in the room. So the airtight fumigation chamber is faster filled with phosphine gas. Phosphine works through inhibition of the cell respiration process. Phosphine toxicity is associated with free radical oxidant and inhibition of metabolic enzyme, such as cytochrome C oxidase. The production of free radicals exceeds the ability of intracellular antioxidant to neutralize them very quickly, causing cell damage. Often, this damage is referred to as oxidative damage. The next step is conclusion. Fumigant Phostoxin is very effective for controlling insect pest warehouse, Lassioderma serricorne, and Pholcus phalangioides. In the future, pest control warehouses are recommended to use biopesticides to be safer for food. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.